Lena and Dina, and here is Amy. So I've just got some slides there, and this training is just on technology and introducing it into play. And we'll have a really brief look at some iPads and an app called Book Creator, and we'll just basically go through this, and should probably take 20 to 25 minutes, I'm hoping. So, introduction. What are the technology norms? What do the experts say about technology in children's play? What does the curriculum, the early years learning framework say? And what can we do to create a technological balance in our classrooms? Does that make sense? Yeah? So what you can expect to achieve and learn. For educators to be able to understand the positives and conversely the impacts that technology can have on children's development. To create a classroom with a balance of technology and play. For educators to design technological strategies that will help in the classroom. Specific apps and programs that you can use with your students. So just before Dina, we're doing a museum in our room, and Dina just took them through on the Lenovo an interactive website, was it? Of a museum, a virtual tour of the museum. Because I think, like, if we, if I was to ask the kids how many have actually gone to a museum, there probably are quite a few that have never gone before. So I think that would have been a really rich experience for the kids to be able to sit and watch as if they were in that kind of environment. I'm sure in like 20 years time we'll be having virtual reality, and we'll have big goggles and
everything.
Yeah, it'll be so much more interactive.
Everything.
Yeah, exactly. So what does the curriculum say about technology? So belonging, it's bringing children's lives into your setting. Because let's face it, like, technology is very deeply entrenched in our lives. So at home, the kids will be experiencing a lot of technology, and we're exposed to it no matter whether we want to or not. So it's whether we accept that and then we bring it into our setting. Becoming. So we want the children to become confident users of technology. And I think you will find though that children will be able to pick up the iPads and they'll be able to interact with it probably even better than we can at times. And being using digital media to help make sense of the world. So I think back then, say even 15 years ago, we were always having to use encyclopedias and dictionaries, and now we can access so much information by just using Google and using search engines. Like, I even know sometimes that
I do sometimes.
Yeah.
Spelling.
Yeah.
I go to Google. Sometimes I can't understand what the meaning. I go to Google. I find out in my language what is there.
Yeah.
Easier.
So that helps you to translate.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Because that's the thing, Dina, in a couple of months, when our kinder funding comes through, we should be getting 5 more iPads. So wherever Elena is, you will be able to have that iPad, and you'll be able to look up the translations for different words and definitions, dictionary, convert things from
we cannot carry
language.
dictionary all the time.
No, exactly.
Yeah, this is easier.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can't understand. We not good in Tamil and Bahasa in Malaysia. Tamil. So I go to my language, what I study.
Yeah.
So I go there, I will know what is there.
Yeah. Fantastic. That would be really good. And it's good that you can help your husband with that too. So the early years learning framework. So the learning outcomes that are applicable to technology and incorporate technology. The children develop 4.2 rather, children develop a range of skills and processes such as problem solving, inquiry, experimentation, hypothesizing, researching and investigating. So, like we just sort of were saying, using iPads and computers, it's a really good tool to interact a lot more and to be able to investigate. Of course, we want the children to investigate the natural environment, but technology can also help us go to a sort of borderless classroom, so you can explore the London Museum like Dina did earlier. Excuse me. Children resource their own learning through connecting with people, places, technologies, and natural and processed materials. Outcome 5 for effective communication. Children express ideas and make meaning using a range of media. Children use information and communication technologies to access information, investigate ideas, and represent their thinking. So we need to be able to show that we can actually demonstrate that by ticking these off as much as we possibly can and incorporating it more into our curriculum and into what we do every day. So one thing that I want us to consider is what are the positives and negatives. Going up. What are the positives and negatives of using technology with children?
They will miss the originality, like when you write, now they stop writing.
Yeah.
One day they might not able to write.
Yeah. So you think one negative is that they're not going to be able to write properly and to be able to spell, yeah.
But you can save. You don't need to keep notes in your pocket. Sometimes you lost.
Yeah,
You type it in iPad, whatever. You can save.
Save it, yeah. So that's a positive, yeah.
There's so many, I think, pros and cons.
There's so many pros and cons.
And negative could be finding the information too early before they're ready.
Oh, definitely.
So you have to do it.
In terms of like safety,
They need to explore.
yeah. So
Yeah.
possibly being exposed to, graphic material that they shouldn't be exposed to.
And you
Definitely.
have it to become depends upon the technology because they don't, like before people used to even use their finger to do the numeracy, but now they will go to the calculator.
Yeah, so
and-
rather than children learning how a set of 10,
Yeah.
so let's use it 10 fingers, they're using these
Everything.
really interactive games that maybe they're not learning the
Multiply
basics.
and-
Yeah.
But now they all got for like calculator and scientific calculator, even the iPad, everything.
Yeah.
So it will be, I think people become a little bit lazier.
Lazier, yeah.
That's so many.
So we're becoming too reliant on
Yeah,
technology? Yeah.
And waste of time also sometimes, you know, right?
Oh, definitely. I can sometimes relate to that. Like
But
instead of doing proper work, I might be going, I'll just go onto my laptop and then an hour's gone.
yeah.
I'm like, wow, what did I do for the last hour? Nothing productive.
Yeah, the American people, I work in an American company in Malaysia. Once your machine, whatever, down, so you don't have to go and call. My company is very huge. You have to take 10 minutes to go and find out the technician.
Yeah.
So you online, my machine is down, this section, this time, this is.
Yes.
You have to mail to him. They will
Yes.
see. They go through to your room, technician's room. The technician will come.
So, did you find that a positive thing that they could come to you straight away?
Straight
and
away.
yeah,
Yeah,
get
you don't have to
assistance?
go waste your time and go and find out where the technician.
Yeah.
No, this is the American style.
Yes.
I think it's efficient for adults, but it's sort of scary that children are being brought up on it and
Yeah,
not learning
yeah.
basics, like you say.
Yeah. So that leads us into what do the experts say. So research from the University of Wisconsin found that children aged between 2 and 3 were more likely to respond to video screens that prompted children to touch them than to a video screen that demonstrated no interaction. So children are becoming more reliant on the iPad that's got interactive features rather than something that's not interactive. I'm just doing some training, Mel. Did you want to come and join? The more interactive the screen, the more real it was, and the more familiar it felt from a 2-year-old's perspective. The study suggests whether a 2-year-old can actually articulate that, you know, but this is what this study is suggesting. Heather, who carried out the research, says that the touchscreens could hold educational potential for toddlers. So they are finding that it is beneficial for toddlers. So what educators need to remember, that quality versus quantity. Quality apps need to have educational foundings. So you've got to ensure that when you're looking at the apps, you do have to have a little bit of that, you do need to make sure that you're not just going, okay, well this is educational. You do have to actually critically examine it and really make that decision whether it is going to be beneficial. What are the children getting from this? Is this just to keep them occupied? Am I just giving this to the child so that they are busy? So Jimmy doesn't go and throw blocks at me. For some, especially for children that have Asperger's or they're on the spectrum, there are studies that show that it relaxes children. There are certain apps that you can use, sensory apps, so they're more interactive, so that they can calm down, especially if they've escalated and they don't want any human interaction. Online environments provide children with a virtual space to develop in confidence, something that they might not be able to do in the classroom. So if you've got someone that's a little bit shyer, they might interact with a technology better than they will with, say, other children. So
Aria need that one.
yeah, Aria, exactly. Yeah.
She's very introvert.
She's very.
And I wonder how she would be with an iPad, if she's exposed to them at home, and whether she would interact with that and actually become.
She watches, like if we put on a song, Hero often plays there's a mermaid song that they all like to watch, and it's like mermaids jumping in the sea and they fall and bump their knees. I don't know, mermaids have knees, but
I explored that song.
How cool.
hello.
Screens can be beneficial to learning, and the more interactive the experience, the better. Technology does not dominate or drive the children's experiences, rather their desires and their family culture shape their forms of engagement. So basically what they're being taught at home is how they're going to interact with them. If a parent's actually sitting down with them, you'll find that the child will be more interactive, but whereas if it's used as maybe, dare I say, a silencing device where the child is busy, then they're going to use it maybe not in the most appropriate format. So it'll be interesting to see how some of them engage in screen time at home versus what they would do here.
Supervising with the parents.
Well, yeah. Now, as activity 2, brainstorm the technology that you use in the classroom. So what do you use when you're going, because you're always going to lots of different rooms now.
I'm just getting
What-
some toast.
Yeah.
Toast down.
What technology do you use?
I go to every room.
Do you use the computers with the kids? A lot or not?
Not really.
Not really?
I only once in the blue moon I take the song for
Yeah.
the children, the nursery things, that's it. Not very often.
Not very often.
So we listen to CDs,
Yeah.
and when we have the iPad and the camera, the kids are really interested in getting their photos taken. Like once they realise that I'm taking photos of the day book, then
Just
they'll
recording their now, so you might do it.
and they're really interested. So then they'll say cheese, and then they'll walk around and have a look at their photos.
Okay. So you're showing the children the photos of them.
Yeah.
Do you take any videos?
They understand that it's a camera. Like
Yeah.
kind of what they look like.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. We don't take videos very often, but we
Yeah.
have.
What about you, Dina? Like, because you're going to lots of different centres all the time.
Yeah.
Do you see a lot of educators interacting?
Not as much as I have overseas. Overseas is
Oh,
always
yeah.
a huge interactive
Yeah.
whiteboard. And even with the nursery age children, which are 4-year-olds, like kindergarten children, it's good when games on there about recognising, English money, what money is big money, what is small money, and you get the kids to come up with their fingers and then all get to have a turn at what was recognising their numbers
Yeah.
and putting them in an order. And then the game would actually say ding if it was correct, or the money would all go back to the bottom if they needed to have it on the
Yeah.
low. And all lessons had a part of the smart board involved.
Wow.
So
So do you feel like maybe we are a little bit behind?
little bit to me.
Yeah.
Some friends that go don't even use their Lenovo in another room.
Yeah.
Like they don't even use it in their kindergarten. And whereas, because I've done a lot of the teaching in London, I like to use it. I like to do 3D shape song. I like to do a counting song up to 100, and because I think they are so visual these days because they get brought up with it. If you then incorporate that into your teaching, they're going to learn that other aspect
I
involved.
wonder why teachers aren't using it.
I don't know. I downloaded the program that I used in London, Inspire. It's a really
Yeah.
fantastic program for a smart board. And I'd get the kids to write their names and do pictures on the smart board, and then I'd print them out. So that would be part of my ICT as well. I was including information technology and just making sure they're all learn. So yeah, and I'd write on the board to send them off to go watch their kids, even I'd write their name on the board. Say, and blink at me, and then you write their name. So it was amazing recognition, but without saying anything very quiet.
That's fantastic.
It was a lot of fun.
How good would it be if we had big whiteboards here? I think it would just be a game changer.
Yeah, I love it.
Especially in preschool.
Oh yeah. But even toddlers, like the amount that they
We had one before, isn't it? What is that?
No, that was just a writing whiteboard.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't interactive. I wish. The hierarchy of interacting with technology, so there's the discovery and experimentation stage, teachers explicitly supporting the learning, and then creating children using technology independently. So that's just sort of the way that flows, that interaction, and yeah, generally children become quite independent with technology. Probably a lot more independent than we actually realise.
No, all the children, if we use that one, they will say, yeah, I have an iPad at home. My mommy has
Charlie
an iPad.
wouldn't even give Chantel the iPad
Yeah,
yesterday. So I think he dictates a lot of the iPad use data. So this is what I find really interesting. Screen time recommendations. So the National Physical Activity Recommendations from children 0 to 5 years for screen time suggests that children to 2 to 5 years of age should have less than 1 hour per day. Children aged less than 2 years should not spend any time watching television or using electronic media, DVDs, computer and other electronic games. So those are the actual recommendations.
But they don't follow that.
No, the children always using
Lily
the parents give the
adores
iPhone.
the music in there.
That's the thing that I wanted to sort of discuss. So for this activity, let's think about these recommendations. Do you think in this day and age that they are actually applicable and whether they're realistic in this day and age? I don't really know if they are.
I don't feel like they're realistic, but I do know that Asha doesn't.
Yeah,
Did
that's
you
what I'm
tell me?
saying.
Asha doesn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any at all.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
I didn't know that. Wow.
My
And then
children-
looking back at that study in the University of Wisconsin, they're saying that it's actually helping children's learning, especially toddlers.
Yeah.
So for these Australian recommendations to be that children should only
How old
be,
are the recommendations?
actually I don't really know. I'd have to go find the website. I can find that out for you. I dare say it's probably old, but yeah, that's a good question.
Because maybe it should be limit for the exposure with the screen.
Yeah.
Sometimes the parents give all the
You think
Do you
baby
think
parents
it would
should
be to
limits.
do with their growth, like their eyes looking at a screen, or is it because of
potentially.
Like
brain
isolating yourself.
development.
But I think the thing is with these games, it's actually improving their perceptual motor because they're actually having to focus on things and jumping around, and if it's interactive, then the kids are actually having to manipulate and use things. They're not just sitting there and staring at a screen like a TV.
Yeah.
And that's what the study is suggesting. Like the more interactive it is, the more the children will be engaged, the more beneficial the learning will be. So if the kids are just plonked in front of a TV, it's not going to be as beneficial.
Once I watched it in 60 minutes, mom encouraged Kiyosaki, the toddler. She knows where to go the next. She's learning all the what is the animal's name. She knows. Pet, okay, pet. Mom said pet, she pet. Chicken,
Yeah.
lion. She can speak. She can know where to go. I can show, oh my God, it's a toddler.
Yeah.
So you're saying,
Yeah,
Elena, that
so-
it is beneficial?
Yeah. How smart you see.
Yes. Because they are being exposed to something
Yeah.
that is beneficial and it is educational. But I guess if they're just watching Dora the Explorer, it might not be as educational. But that parent obviously is really making sure that what the apps that they're using are interactive and are engaging and educational.
Another mom showed the flag. The girl, the toddler, every flag. Italy, German.
Oh
My
wow.
goodness. Last time we got one of the girls. Who's that? Jackie. Jackie, is it? Jackie? Yeah, Jackie, no.
Who's
Maybe
someone?
Jackie?
She's knowing Mandarin and
No, she knows all the flags names.
There are,
Prime Minister's name. Who's the Prime
Is
Minister?
that
Who is this?
Ryan?
Jackie,
Is that a Ryan?
Jackie, Katie.
No.
Katie.
Katie.
Probably Katie.
Katie knows all the Prime Minister's name.
oh wow.
When she
That's
came,
very
not
advanced.
all, like some of, Australian Prime Minister, USA Prime Minister, and some of 4 or 5 countries.
Yes,
Oh,
she
wow.
knows.
She should,
Yeah, most of them she knows.
they're not all,
Yeah.
but some of
And
them.
did she learn
At
that?
least she knows something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if she learned that from
From there.
technology. Oh, from
Yeah.
dad. Yeah. Well,
She
yeah,
is-
it goes to
she's
show
smart.
you
She's
how
smart.
involved the parents
She's smart.
are.
Mm.
It really,
I was going to say their parents were quite involved.
very much so.
I don't know who is that in a preschool or preschool child, I think. You know all the flags.
Flags.
Preschool.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, one of the preschool child, Rosetta. He know all the flags.
Wow.
Oh, when Rose was.
Gosh, I
Yeah.
don't even know all the
I
flags.
don't know either.
Very clever, very smart. He always drawing.
Come on,
He,
yes, and
he
after
always
flag,
drawing the
Abadi.
flags.
Which
You give
one?
him the pencil and the
I know,
paper.
I
He
know.
always drawing the flags. He knows all the flags. The memories is very
Clever. Good memory. Very good memory.
I also don't know certain.
You have a good memory, you remember so many things. Like my old
No, the children, how
don't know.
smart they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that, we're always extending that learning and making sure we're getting the children to be involved and show us what they do know. The
That
knowledge
time
they
we
do
have a big chat. All the flags, all the countries.
Yeah.
We ask the boy know everything. I don't know who is that.
Hopefully it'll come to you.
Yeah. Very smart boy.
So what technology can we use? So ICT games, taking videos and playing them back to the children. They absolutely love seeing their mug. They love seeing their face and what they're doing. YouTube Paint for writing their own name. PowerPoint presentations. Ebooks like Harry McClary and Book Creator. So here I just wanted to show you Book Creator really quickly. So this is an app that we bought. So I need to speak to Chantel about what other apps we can use. So
Is it just on the one iPad?
it's only on Kristen's. So hopefully we'll be able to use, you can change all the font, I just didn't have time. So I've just done playing in the bakery. With my
That's pretty cool.
Oh.
Well, that's really cool.
And the kids can talk, obviously, it doesn't have to be us. So they could do a drawing and they could actually say what it is that they've drawn, and then we could show this to the parents when they come.
That looks like a delicious ginger beer. Billy, Caitlin, you are amazing cooks.
So basically you just upload your photos, your videos. The kids can use the pen to draw over themselves, which is good for their fine motor. You can add all the different texts that you want. You can create your own books. You can, there's another app that I need to find. I've got to find the name for it. You can make monsters, so you can use the the children, and you can cut from their mouth, and the mouth opens and closes, and you can say different things and pretend that they're a monster or whatever. But it's
That's pretty
basically, yeah, it's just letting the children have more ownership over their play and over themselves, what they're creating, their constructions, and I think the kids would really love it to be able to show their parents what they've made if, you know, we've packed it up, or, yeah, it's really cute.
I wanted to send the link to them via email, so that the parents have that at home on their iPads.
Yeah,
and
I think you
start
can
drawing at home
actually.
and adding to it. And
Open
That'd be
iTunes. Yeah, I'll have to find whether you can, hold on. So yeah, you can export it as a video, export it as a PDF.
Would you then only though be able to do like one child
You can
per
do,
thing?
you can,
Because if,
yeah, well,
like if you were sending it to the parents, like some of the children might not want, or rather some of the parents might not want something that their child has done sent to another.
another
yeah,
parent,
no, I
yeah.
like that particular parent, they wanted to get a link. If it was just that there, you know, obviously if it's more than one, yeah, you're gonna get, I know other centres have permission forms written up, like it's all highlighted. You know, Facebook, and then each week they get a newsletter, and if their child has permission to go, the children that aren't are not in any videos.
Okay.
There's only ever a
okay.
couple of podcasts.
Yeah,
Usually
yeah.
most people,
Most
yeah, I wanna see my
Parents are
child.
pretty good about it, yeah. And here's just the references, so I'll find out about the technology question, when that, no, that's not there. I'll have to find when that report was done about the recommendations of screen time. Just to see, because I'm curious now whether that was from ages ago or if it's a recent recommendation, but I'm fairly certain it should be recent, but.
I feel like I was reading it just a few years ago, like maybe between 5 and 10 years ago.
Oh, okay. I'll have a look. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
I really want to know, like, in a long term, how this technology will create a world.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
Because in the short term, it's not
Yeah.
like really exciting, and we think that the children learn lots of things, and
It's really
like,
innovative,
but in
but
the long term,
long
in their
term,
brain,
yeah.
children
And I
learn.
suppose we
How
haven't
we
been
do
doing
that.
it
long enough
Yeah.
to know what the repercussions are.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. No, it'll be very interesting. I'm sure there's a lot of projects and research that's going, that's been starting the last decade. But hopefully they, yeah, definitely.
Because some people like even
There's new disorders that have been put on the DSM-B, which is like mental health disorders. So people are now having selfie problems, like they're always like taking selfies, or problems with their thumbs, because they used to, back when we had the older phones, but I don't know if that's really common anymore, but I think people are becoming very addicted to
I
screens.
suppose, like when I'm texting, I'm generally using one thumb, and yeah, like you can get cramps. It's
Yeah,
like it's just like video games.
Yeah.
They did the thing where holding the video game controllers. I can't hold them anymore to play because my thumb just doesn't go that way.
Yeah.
Like you know, I think obviously they'll probably be working with their design of them now so that it's less awkward. But yeah, but I just found it, even just texting sometimes, I'm like, So yeah, it would be interesting to see how all that comes about. But
Yeah.
definitely the selfie thing, I think, is going to be, already
I think it's
is.
just
Kim Kardashian-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually a problem that they actually have a rehabilitation now called myphonophobia, and it's actually a disorder. It's actually if you're separated from your phone, you get separation anxiety, so they have to go to rehabilitation.
Wow.
And they take their phone away from that first. They can only do it for 5 minutes, and people are like this. I just need to touch my phone. I just need to touch my
Getting
phone, and then go
anxiety
into
from it.
yeah.
Wow.
So they have to then limit their phone to 15 minutes, and in the end they do 1 day without their phone to 3 days, and that's a
So
huge
this
thing
is
to
actually
get over.
gradually increasing.
Yeah, it's starting to
Wow.
become a psychological issue.
I feel
I
like
saw
that's
an
going to
episode
happen
of it, like,
with
show.
like iPads and stuff as well. Like
Yeah.
any of that kind of screen.
Scary, isn't it?
Yeah.